You think you know plants? That they're just green, pretty, and sit quietly in a pot? There's a plant that smells like rotting flesh. There's another that looks exactly like a real rock. And there's one that can survive without water for years. And when you pour water on it, it simply comes back to life. These are the 10 strangest plants in the world, and some of them will make you struggle to believe any of this is real.
We think we know what a plant is. Roots, stem, leaves, flower. Simple as that. But nature doesn't care about that manual. It creates things that look like they came out of a horror movie, another planet, or a biologist's nightmare. There are plants that eat animals, plants that flower once every several years, plants that look dead but are alive, and some that, honestly, no explanation does justice. You have to see them. Let's go. Number 10, Welwitschia mirabilis. We start with one that looks like it's been thrown on the ground, broken, abandoned. The Welwitschia mirabilis lives in the deserts of Namibia and Angola and has an appearance so ugly and messy that it's hard to believe it's alive. But here comes the insane detail. It can live for over 1,000 years. Some specimens are more than 1,500 years old. During all that time, it produces only 2 leaves, just 2. But those leaves grow continuously for the rest of the plant's life, getting torn and twisted by desert winds over the centuries. It is so unique that scientists classified it in a botanical group all by itself. There is no other plant like it in the world. Number 9, Lithops, the stone plant. Look at the ground in an arid region of South Africa. What do you see? Rocks. Just rocks. But wait, some of those rocks are actually living plants. Lithops are small succulent plants that evolve to look exactly like their surrounding environment. Each species mimics a different type of rock, with colors, textures, and patterns that fool even experienced researchers. The reason? Predators. If an animal is hungry and looking for something to eat, it won't look twice at a rock. This camouflage is so good that they become invisible in nature. Once a year, they open a small flower right in the middle, appearing as if it's coming out of a crack between the leaves. It's one of the most surprising moments in botany, because you look and suddenly the rock has bloomed. 8. Rose of Jericho. This one has a nickname that says it all: the resurrection plant. The Rose of Jericho originates from desert regions of the Middle East and North Africa. When drought comes, it does something no other plant does so dramatically. It curls up completely, releases its roots from the soil, and turns into a dry, brown ball. It looks completely dead. Then the wind carries that ball for kilometers. When it lands somewhere with moisture, even years later, it opens, slowly as if waking up. The leaves turn green again. It starts growing again. This has been documented with plants that stayed dry for more than 50 years. 50 years looking dead. And when water was added, it came back. Some people buy one, keep it dry in a little box, and place it in a cup of water when they want to watch the process. It's hypnotic. Number 7. Mimosa pudica, touch me not. This is the one that scares people the most when they see it in person for the first time. The Mimosa pudica, known in Brazil as nome tokis or dormidera, has leaves that close immediately when you touch them. Not slowly, immediately, as if it's afraid. The movement is too fast for a plant. It looks like it has a nervous system, like it feels something. And in a way, it does. It has an internal mechanism that sends electrical signals when touched, causing the cells in the leaves to rapidly lose water and fold shut. This serves as a defense against insects and animals. If a leaf closes in your face, you'll probably leave. The most curious thing is that it also closes at night and opens in the morning, even without anyone touching it. It has a circadian rhythm, just like humans, a plant with a biological clock. Now we enter the territory of plants that don't wait for nutrients to come to them. They go after them. The Nepenthes raja is a carnivorous plant found in Borneo, Asia, and it has a trap in the shape of an enormous pitcher that can hold up to 3.5 liters of liquid. Inside that pitcher is a digestive fluid. It eats insects. That alone is bizarre. But the Nepenthes raja goes further. It has been found with rats, frogs, and even small birds inside it.
The plant attracts animals with nectar on the edges. The animal slips, falls into the pitcher, can't get out because of the slippery walls, and is slowly digested. In Borneo, researchers also discovered that some species of tree shrew, a small mammal resembling a squirrel, use the pitchers as a toilet. The plant has nectar on the lid that attracts the animal. It eats and defecates inside the pitcher, and the plant uses the nutrients from the feces. It's a completely strange partnership, but it works.
Number 5. Hydrona africana. This one will make you uncomfortable because it doesn't look like a plant. It looks like a mouth. The Hydrona africana grows completely underground in the deserts of southern Africa. You see no leaves, no stem, nothing green, because it has no chlorophyll. It doesn't photosynthesize. Instead, it latches onto the roots of other plants and steals their nutrients, like a parasite.
The only part that appears above ground is the flower, and that flower looks like an open jaw with edges resembling teeth or flesh. It grows unpredictably, without warning. One day, there's nothing. The next, this thing is emerging from the ground. And the smell? Feces. It smells like feces on purpose to attract beetles that live in dung, which are its pollinators.
When a beetle enters the flower, attracted by the smell, the plant closes its petals around it for a few days to ensure it carries the pollen. Then it opens and releases the beetle, which will enter another flower, attracted by the same smell, and pollinate again. It's disturbing in a way that few things in nature are.
Number 4. Baobab. The baobab isn't frightening just because of its strange shape. It's frightening because of its size and how much it holds. Native to Africa, Madagascar, and Australia, the baobab has a trunk so enormous it looks inflated. Some trunks reach 10 meters in diameter. And that trunk isn't solid wood, it's spongy, capable of storing up to 120,000 liters of water.
In regions with extreme drought, the baobab is literally a water source. Animals and humans have depended on the water stored in the trunk to survive. But the strangest detail is the appearance. When the baobab has no leaves during the dry season, its branches point upward like roots. It looks like a tree planted upside down. There's a local legend that says that's exactly what happened. A god got angry and planted the tree upside down as punishment. It also lives for hundreds of years. Some baobabs are over 2,000 years old.
3. Corpse flower. Amorphophallus titanum. Some plants flower every year. Others flower rarely. The corpse flower can take between 7 and 10 years to bloom for the first time. And when it does, it lasts less than 48 hours. But when it happens, it's an event. Natural history museums around the world that cultivate this plant announce the bloom weeks in advance. Lines form. Cameras are installed.
Why all the fuss? First, because it is the tallest flower in the world. The central spadix, which is the part that grows, can exceed 3 meters in height. Second, because the smell it releases when it opens has been compared to rotting meat, putrid fish, and manure all at once. It heats up internally during blooming, reaching close to human body temperature, which helps spread the smell over long distances to attract flies and beetles to pollinate it. In many cases, when it blooms in a botanical garden, the place is packed for hours on end. To see a massive flower that smells like death. Nature has a very specific sense of humor. The corpse flower is the tallest flower by height, The Rafflesia arnoldi is the largest flower by weight and diameter. It can reach 1 meter in diameter and weigh up to 10 kilograms. It is a single flower with no stem, no leaves, no roots of its own. It lives entirely inside the tissue of a host vine, invisible for months, until it bursts out as an enormous flower.
And it also smells like rotting flesh. Its common name is stinking flower. The smell attracts flies that pollinate it. The entire process, from the moment the bud appears to the flower fully opening, takes between 9 months and 1 year. Once open, it lasts 5 to 7 days before rotting.
It is at risk of extinction due to deforestation in the forests of Sumatra, Borneo, and other parts of Southeast Asia where it lives. We may lose the world's largest flower before we fully understand how it works.
Technically, you may have already seen one, but most people don't understand just how strange it really is. The Venus flytrap is the only plant in the world with a fast, repeatable movement trap. It has teeth, and when an insect touches the trigger hairs inside the trap, it closes. Not when touched once, but when touched twice within 20 seconds.
This matters. It counts. It has short-term memory. If touched once, the trap goes on alert. If touched a second time shortly after, it closes. If not touched again, it relaxes. This prevents it from closing over a raindrop or a falling leaf. Researchers discovered that it counts up to 5. Each additional touch inside the trap after it is closed causes it to release more digestive enzymes. The more the prey struggles trying to escape, the faster it is digested.
It also doesn't reopen if it hasn't captured something large enough. If an insect too small gets in and manages to escape through the gaps between the teeth, it opens back up. It will only digest what's worth spending energy on. A plant that counts decides whether digesting something is worth it and has short-term memory. If that's not strange enough for you, I don't know what would be.
We go through life thinking plants are the simplest part of nature. They're the things that stay still, that depend on you to water them, that don't do anything on their own. But what you saw here today shows that's completely false. There are plants that hunt, plants that deceive, plants that count, plants that resurrect, plants that stay hidden for decades and explode into enormous flowers that smell like death for less than 2 days. Nature didn't need a brain to create things more complex than anything we ever imagined.
If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel.